I apologise for my slight delay in starting speaking. I'm gonna just rest the phone a second. Yeah, what it is, I'm experiencing levels of life. Sorry about my back support looking a bit tatty on camera, but you've all seen it many times before now. I'm experiencing levels of life that I'm struggling to comprehend. My life is, I have a mental health disorder, and it's okay to put me in that box in the first instance. But if you spend time with me and analyse my life with me, I'm almost certain I can prove it to you that my mental health is an external consciousness. It has a consciousness of its own, to a very high degree, one that supersedes my own consciousness. And unless I harbour within my own mind a savant-like secondary consciousness that hasn't ever shown itself present in my life, and one that has a sole mission to make my life miserable, make its own life miserable, then that's a possibility. But I don't see those signs as a likelihood, and the evidence is, given my spiritual understanding, the likelihood is that it's an external consciousness. And this external consciousness has pushed me. I'll take that back. It hasn't pushed me. Well, it has pushed me, but what I was going to say is that it's pushed me to levels that I've never pushed me before. And to a certain extent, that's correct. But what it is, it's a case of as I've grown up with it, I've set my intent to get to grips with it. I need to live my life, and I have a mental health disorder. That's the bottom line. I can only do a certain amount with my mental health, and I've just sought those boundaries. What can I do? What part of this existence can I feel comfortable to call life? And what parts do I have to compartmentalise as my mental health and just accept? And in doing that, mental health very clearly where I stop and where my mental health begins in responsibility. And to do that, I've had to work on myself in terms of spiritual development and personal development, all the while looking like a beast and a madman. But nobody would believe that. That's not the point. The point is I have. And the point is I can see my mental health. The point is that I don't antagonise the situation any more than makes sense. So sometimes I have to antagonise the situation because it's just not appropriate what I'm experiencing. But this is where it gets a bit nitty gritty, and I've had 13 years to really hone as where to draw that line of practical and non-practical relationship with this mental health disorder. What I'm trying to get at is I can't just let my mental health beat me all the time. I have to show some resilience. And that resilience could be argued that it's an antagonization of the situation. But yeah, I'm open to that input. And for myself, governing my mental health as I have, I believe I've got to a place where I've cleared away my element to it. And the resilience I show towards it is nothing but what's called for. So in essence, what I'm experiencing right now is for the first time I'm seeing my mental health clearer than ever. And I'm seeing how malicious it is. Because before, what I used to do, I used to take responsibility in terms of a spiritual development, in terms of an egotistical removal. So, first of all, it was like, right, I've got a mental health disorder. I believe it's spirituality that's given me this mental health disorder. Right, fantastic. It's not pleasant, but I've got something to be proactive with. I'm working on some level. You know, I'm progressing as a human being. If I take it on with a positive tone. And that's what I did. And then that game sort of, I don't want to call it a game, sort of run its course. And it was like, right, I've got on top of it. I can compartmentalise my mental health this way. I can get on with my life the other way. And my mental health has carried on going. And I'm like, well, what are you doing? I'm not doing anything wrong. Why are you beating me like you are? I've applied all my logic in terms of learning my lessons from you. And I still believe it's a spiritual initiation, so to speak. But it's applying a logic that I don't understand at present. And therefore, I'm suffering it at present, all the while trying to be sincere to all the lessons I've learnt from it in the past, how to deal with it. And I'm still applying those. And it's still continuing to beat me. And I'm like, at present, I'm very confused. And the biggest problem is I've got the council with my housing and the NHS playing silly buggers with my life. And as a result of that circumstance, and as a result of the NHS, and as a result of the council, I'm experiencing a level of life that is darker than ever. It's I'm seeing very little, how can I put it, I'm seeing very little means on top of things. And all I am is like imagine me, my mindset is like a personal healing warrior to my life. That's all I think about. That is my life, just trying to heal my condition. Trying to heal myself. I'm a trained alternative therapist once upon a time, not that I practiced much. But that's been my mindset all the way through. That was my mindset before, sort of thing. And it's like, how do I deal with this situation? How do I deal with it? Well, for instance, yesterday I was in pain all day, literally, like pain, to the extent I couldn't think. The pain was so bad, and there was nothing I could do. All I could do was be there, present with the pain, with the knowledge. The NHS and A&E and the GP, how many times, and I keep getting turned away, telling them simply the situation. And I'm there, and I'm like, I don't want to be shouting, but I don't know what else to do. Shouting helps. Nothing else helps. It seems to help. So I'm there going round in circles all day long, petrified on top of this, that I could have a knock at the door by police at any second. An ambulance, get sectioned for shouting and disturbing the peace, which I am. And that's my life. I live in constant terror. I've barely slept in months. Keeps forcing me to believe, because it's very malicious. It's very manipulative. There's this state, as I said a few times, I enter. It's an unhealthy rest, and it keeps wanting me to be there. But it's not healthy, and I know I've got to break through it one day, eventually. And the longer I rest in that unhealthiness and get addicted to that unhealthy state, the harder it's going to be to get out of that place. So I have to keep monitoring my body. And the truth is, I'm in shock. The truth is, I'm not here. On an emotional level, I've not been able to deal with it in truth for years. But I've always been there and thereabouts in terms of, imagine it like, you have your emotions, you experience something and you're either happy or sad. Well, my emotions as a result of my mental health go all over the place. They're not always accurate to the scenario. And that's something I've learnt to accept and deal with. But given that, I've had to apply mental logic to right and address where am I emotionally. Because if I don't, my real emotions could come round at any second and slap me in the face. So for instance, if I'm very depressed and I'm not honest with myself that I'm very depressed, and I'm like, oh, it's a lovely day today, let's just try and be happy today. And I go to the park and I do a bit of exercise and I'm home. And the truth of my life and my emotions hit me in the face, all of a sudden, I'm not going to be able to deal with them, because my life is quite a roller coaster, and I need to be on point with them, because it's like PTSD level, whereby if I don't keep on top of them, it's just like an unpleasant darkness that all of a sudden surrounds you, that you can't breathe. That's the best way I can describe PTSD. And it's not something you really want to be too blasé about. So I try and be on point with my emotions as much as possible, and largely I've been doing well with that, keeping a loose grip on where I'm at. The antagonism have been experiencing since last year took its toll last week. With my sleep. It just gets in the way of my sleep. It's like, it shows me, I can see my mental health, like how it affects my life. And it just keeps getting in the way of my sleep. And for me, it's like, it's a no nonsense thing. It's like, right, just get in touch with my sleep and my life improves. My mental health improves. So I've got nothing in way of reassurance to continue with life, so to speak, because my mental health is really bad at the moment. So all my focus is on just getting to grips with sleep, and I'm in this constant battle to get a grip with life, sleep as the fundamental basis. Sleep as the fundamental basis. And last week it got too much. It was like, this is ridiculous. I've been 3 months in my mental health. I've given absolutely nothing but pure intent to get in touch and in grips. Given nothing but the pure intent to getting to. My brain's not working. Getting to control of my sleep. And that pure intent, I can see myself. I can see where my intent is, everything I'm doing in my life, how it's focused on my sleep. 3 months of pure willpower. And like, only recently have I been getting like 1 or 2 naps after 3 months. 3 months, 4 months now since hospital. So it's really and energy to anything. It's like, I can't. There's no life without the sleep. And right now I'm just seeing a constant suffering. Like, I can't believe I've got an entity that wants me to suffer more than I want to not suffer. You know, if I get into grips with my sleep, that's my intent, not to suffer. That's how I see it. So, after 3 months of being beaten this way, I broke. I can't continue at the boat. I've stopped the boat. I'm here at the flat, and it's like, I'm praying I don't get a knock at the door any day with bailiffs, or with an eviction notice, first. And I can't rest as a result of that. I'm not going to be able to just rest in depression either because of that. I know if I say, right, fuck this life, what am I going to do? Just sleep all day. I know my luck. I'll get a letter through the door saying you're evicted, and I'll be like in panic, like, what do I do? Because depression and resting in depression isn't appropriate in this life and in this society and in this world. So I don't. But I'm here, and as a result of knowing that, all I can do is go round in circles, literally back and forth all day long in a small studio flat, pacing back and forth. This is what I do every day in pain. Because pacing back and forth, I'm working through the pain. A little bit of movement, by logic, and the bits of training I've had over my life that my uncles taught me, and the guidance he's given me in terms of my own body to try and remedy the pain. Shouting helps. And I'm walking back and forth, working all day long, shouting, trying to get rid of the pain, to a state I can just think. I couldn't think yesterday from the pain. I've not been able to assess my life. I'm ashamed of me, of my own life. I'm ashamed of the world. I'm ashamed of... Look, I can't put too much blame on you because I know the circumstance, but I'm ashamed of you all as well. I'm ashamed of us all. I mean, this is me and my petty life and my petty problems. But it goes a lot further than that, doesn't it? It's like you time to get incarnated to planet Earth. Right, where do I go to suffer? Do I go where it's obvious? Where there's famine, where there's violence, where there's malnutrition, where there's disease? Or do I get incarnated into somewhere where the suffering is harder to see, somewhere where it's all sickness and disease in the head, in terms of like Europe and America, and now some places in Asia in terms of China? Or do I go to a place like India where they come from a great tradition and heritage of spirituality and health, Ayurveda, and I don't know what goes through their minds. It's just like, I can't understand how Indians can be born into that culture, with that heritage, with that knowledge there, that I've taken on board probably more so than most Indians I know. But it's all there for them, man. You know, you go from Bollywood, you go to all of these, the temples, all of the tradition, Hinduism. It's all there. It all spans down if you're really interested in your own culture to see the root, which was Ayurveda. And Ayurveda heals. Ayurveda is a life. Nowhere in the world is life. The closest we say is like a Mediterranean diet. But in truth, that's not really that healthy. And you've got some places, other places in Asia that have health traditions, Taoism and Qigong, but it's not quite as I get the impression that unless you're living in a temple in China sort of thing, or in Japan, you know, in the mountains, life on the outside gets you pulled in. And I just get the impression there's out of most places in the world, in India, there's more links back to that original consciousness than anywhere else. Unless you're native Red Indian, then you live your sort of thing because of the outside world, so it's like there's no real point to it. Their lives are suppressed, you know. Land is important to them, part of their spirituality. Land is important to their culture, and it's just been taken away from them. So it's like, right, well, what we're gonna do? Don't know. Can't go over there. Really need to go over there to do this ceremony, and I can't go over there. We'll have to do it here, but it's not quite the same thing. Doesn't quite instigate the same energy. And this morning, I'm not here. Most people I appreciate go through spells in their lives where they're like, I'm in here, but they get trapped in their own ego sort of thing, and they're inside themselves, and they're not able to show themselves to other people. This is the impression I get. But with me, it's like I'm not here in the first place. I could look like I'm here more than most people, but I'm not here. Since what happened last week, I might as well be on another planet. I can't breathe life. I can't breathe the sickness anymore. But what I'm doing, I've got a plan in mind. That's all I can do, is apply a plan. That's where I am. And the plan is to lop off my emotional state, because I can't deal with it. I can't deal with the terror of forced eviction at any time. I can't deal with the terror of what I'm experiencing from the national health system in terms of as someone who's vulnerable and should be prioritised. I can deal with my mental health if I didn't have all of the other problems. So right now I'm struggling with my mental health too. I don't know if anybody's had any form of experience in their life, and I'm sure most men would have, and probably women actually, with in terms of children at least, where you're constantly having to get up for a child and you're being forced not to sleep. But the body, I'm sure you'll be able to relate to this, where the body craves sleep. And I experience that all too often. It's like, it must be a similar thing, you know? You give all your energy to your child and your child takes your sleep. That's where my life seems to be. I'm giving all my energy to sleep, and it's taking it back. It's not giving me anything. And unfortunately, I don't have anything else to keep me positive. These videos are about the only thing that's keeping me focused. I mean, I'm focused, but if I didn't do these videos, I'd be awash in emotional pain. These videos just give me a little bit of the ability to clear a bit of that emotion by expressing. And it's really annoying with the boat. I've had 3-4 boats now, and I enjoy DIY and home improvement and being creative with a limited budget in terms of that, and seeing things come together, and you know, fixing up a boat is really something that I'd enjoy, but could enjoy. I mean, I wasn't going about it with that mentality, because I can't, from what I've expressed already. But there's that there too that's in truth bugging me. Yeah, it's a weird situation. It's like I'm not wanting to fix up the boat because it's an enjoyable thing. I wanted to fix up the boat to take away the terror from my life, that I know I've got somewhere over my head, somewhere safe, somewhere with running water, somewhere with electricity, somewhere with a shower, a toilet, etc. And not have the fear of being evicted. That's the reason I want to do the boat. And I'm staying true to that intent. I fix up a boat and confusing myself. I have to be very clear. These things, these are little decisions of why are very fundamental to my mental health. And it's like now, just now, it's like my mental health just checked in to say, I'm stopping you from doing that boat because you want to do the boat. And I can appreciate that. In terms of how I've managed my mental health up until now, that would have been valid. In terms of ego, in terms of why, in terms of want. But there's none of it there. I just want a shelter over my head. I want to be safe. I'm a vulnerable individual and level of accommodation. I don't know what else to call it to be able to survive. So it's a bit. It seems to be a bit annoying. I don't know if it's because my uncle and my father both have passed away recently. Well, recently, a few years ago. And I blame them mostly for my mental health. And it's like, right and trash, it's they're gone. Take the reins. And this person just doesn't get it. This person just doesn't get mental health. They're just like there, and they're there. Where my father and my uncle possibly wanted to teach me through my mental health, this person is just sole intent of killing me. But most people would have committed suicide. There's no way. The pressures I'm experiencing on a daily basis, the sickness, but both from my mental health and from society, it's just disgusting. But I have a plan. I'm focused. It's to lop off as much as possible the emotional pain. Just dwell in the present moment. Sedate myself with food and whatever else I can find in my life. Just mental sedation until I can get into grips with my sleep. So just take away the pressures. Ignore the fact that I could be evicted anytime. I haven't got a choice. Ignore the terror that I experience surrounding that. And hope that I get in control of my sleep. I don't know what else to do. I don't know what else to do. But seeing how malicious life has been, because it is life, I've been referencing it as my mental health, but it is life that has been malicious. I joked in the past that my life has AIDS at times, where it's like my life wants to kill me on a daily basis, and it's a bit like that at present. Not quite so much. No, it's arguable that it is. It's arguable that it's actually worse. So that's where I'm at. So yeah, I'm going to lop off the emotional thing, lie to myself about how fucked up my life is and how it could get worse at any second. Just sedate myself to the present moment. Have no expectations for the day, and it might be that I pace back and forth all day long for a few days, just while I'm relaxed in that position. So it's like a focused relaxation, just to sedate the pain, the shout, sedate the stress, which should give my sleep a chance to get into grips of things again. And then I can go back to what was my life before, and finish work on the boat. Oh, if anybody knows how to fix back problems, please let me know, because I can't bend over. I've not been able to bend over for about a year, and it sort of was part of the reason I had to stop at the boat. Was I couldn't bend over to do the work. I needed to bend over to do the bottom section of the boat, and I couldn't do it. I was there for hours screaming like, why can't I bend over? I've got problems, physical problems. These were aggravated by the side effects of the medication I took whilst in hospital. It's sort of where I experienced physical pain, and you hold the pain in your body, sort of speaking. You're a human being. The medication shuts you off, and you become a slave to the pain. So it's like the pain goes into a position, and where you got a bit of nerve damage, you find the position in your body that's most comfortable around a lot of discomfort. And part of that, I noticed my hip was pressured, and it really looks like that was the main contributing factor to it being aggravated on this occasion. But yes, this is me checking in. This is going to be another day of nothingness. I'm sorry, I can't hold an appropriate emotional display to you. As I said, I'm not here, and I wanted to hear myself say those words of the plan of what I'm doing, because my memory keeps getting wiped on a daily basis, and I keep waking up and like, all I know is that I'm suffering. And then I need my memory to come back to me like, oh, actually, no, I'm doing something. I've got a plan here. It's all practical. I'm going to end the video because I can't breathe to life. I can't breathe to the sickness of life. I can't breathe to the sickness of the maliciousness of my mental health at present. So this is me saying to my mental health, the consciousness that's running my mental health at present, there's something wrong with you. There's something wrong with the level of maliciousness you're willing to apply to me for no reason. There is something wrong with the lesson that you are giving me at present. Please fix yourself before you try to fix me.